All right, so I just watched the season finale of the series known as Mr. Robot, which I have not been watching at all. And I remember some people at work, oh, you got to watch it, it's really cool. So, what piqued my interest in watching the season finale is that people online are saying, boy, oh boy, is there some telling stuff in this video if you believe in the whole thing of the elite tell you what's going to happen in the future in movies and stuff. So, naturally, I'm going to have to watch this. And USA, which is the channel, network that's having this show, um, said the other day, due to the shooting in Virginia on a live news segment, because of a similar situation in our season finale of Mr. Robot, we're not going to play it yet, out of respect for the real shooting that just happened. Once again, that really piqued my interest. So I sent myself a little message today, Joe, watch the finale of Mr. Robot. So I took notes while I was watching this finale. So I'm not familiar with the whole show because this is season 1, episode 10, or the finale 9 or 10. I think it's 10. Um, so I'm not sure what happened the previous times, but the gist of it is this hacker group, like the real life anonymous hacker group, this one's called F Society, and they release a virus across the world that brings down the banking system and finance system and causes the uber rich corporations to go bankrupt and everybody's debt to be wiped off the face of the earth. So it's like they were doing a good deed for humanity, so to speak. However, the governments of the world did not quite look at it that way. So here's some things that I saw. Keep in mind, this show, you don't produce a show in a week or two, right? These things are done way, way, way in advance, edited, filmed, and then they release it months later, usually, maybe weeks later. So for this show to right away talk about the Ashley Madison hack by name and use it inside the show, not like real life. And then in real life, around the same time that this show is supposed to be coming out, this finale, it actually happens in real life that there's a Ashley Madison data breach hack. If Lindsey Williams said the elite love to tell you what they're going to do to you in the movies, it's their favorite tool, then by God, you got to pay attention. The Ashley Madison hack was in the series finale, and it happened in real life. They even used the name, yeah, the Ashley Madison hack, talking about this kid who hacked his account. His account also was responsible for that. So let me read my notes. First thing, Ashley Madison hacks in here. You got to be kidding me. He then goes on to his house, which is this is some guy that sees a psychiatrist, and he's meeting the psychiatrist for dinner, and they had a relationship at one time, and this kid hacker is a patient of hers because he kind of does have some weird problems, apparently mental issues. And anyway, so this guy then, the scene is that he goes back to his house, not the hacker, but this guy that was seeing the psychiatrist, and he's talking to her about this kid and how he hacked him and all that stuff. So he then goes back to his house and turns on the TV, and the news is on. And the news is talking about the Japanese and Chinese stock markets crashing. Then the camera pans to the TV itself, and you see people with signs that say Fraud Merkel, speaking of Angela Merkel of Germany, and what they've been doing to the Greece population in real life. So that's funny. Here we have Fraud Merkel. Um, and then the headline from the New York TV station New York One is Massive Hack Has a Global Fallout. So either they're talking about the Ashley Madison hack having global fallout, or there's another hack, and believe me, it's the other hack that's going to be coming shortly in real life and may be attached to the financial system slash banking system in real life, is what I'm saying. Then the headline changes on the same news channel, and it says that it says governments prepare for state of emergency. Then the next scene is the kid who I believe is the hacker talking to some friend of a person he knows, and that person is asking him for something because he owes him a favor or owes him some money, and he says something about the amount of money you used to pay me before the credit card system went down. Then there's a scene where the hacker is looking up recent news online, I guess because they released their big virus hack event program, and it spread and took out the systems of the world, and it did its job. So the headlines in the news online says things like coordinated attack with data center in China, and then another one says wide scale credit card system outages goes global. Then for some more search results for that same news show that or thing he's on, that the hackers um, says hackers gaining popularity and thousands descend upon financial houses across the globe. So that's another headline. And another headline says 5 Steel Mountain facilities could also be involved in systemic hack. Now, I'm personally taking that to mean something like Cheyenne Mountain, or you know what I mean. When they say 5 Steel Mountain, come on. Another headline says, oh wait a minute, let's see, that's that one. In the top banner for this particular news website that he's reading is called IO9. Um, we come, yeah, so that's like what the top header banner says. IO9, we come from the future. And then below that, it's kind of like a picture banner that says in the future. And then it looks like there's some pictures of spacecraft flying around. That's weird. He clicks on yet another news website link. And on that page, it's titled Coordinated Attack with Data Center in China. Then it reads the United States is not the only country that has declared F Society an enemy. The hacker group also launched a corporate coordinated attack on Evil Corp's Chinese data centers. So, what I have gathered from this TV show is Evil Corp is a corporation like a big major banking institution. Could be a Federal Reserve, could be IMF, could be JP Morgan Chase in real life. You know what I mean? I'm not sure. Uh, in the and then the article continues to read both countries, meaning US and China, subsequently launched a manhunt for the hackers responsible. While the two nations have yet to officially tie in the hunt, the hack inevitability asks for joint cooperation and an agreement regarding proceedings once the hackers are apprehended. The next paragraph of this news site he's reading uh, reads, as the search for F Society continues, private financial institutions scramble to recover losses and quell clients' fears. The Federal Reserve has not yet announced plans for bailouts or protective measures. One source who spoke on the condition of anonymity indicated that the government is resistant to implementing assistance programs until the intent and implications of, and then you can't read the rest. Uh, and then some more words. It says attack. They start like zooming, showing words like zooming in on the camera. Attack in China, lethal, global are the words that the camera zooms very closely one by one. Then the next words it also zooms into again closely are system outages, world economy unprecedented, may hit gridlock. The next scene is a woman who works for a cybersecurity company talking to the CEO, and she is the CFO. His company is pretty much collapsing, and he's trying to figure out how to keep it alive with the market turmoil going on. He's talking about the opening bell ringing on Wall Street and that it's just rumors that his company's stocks are going to plummet. She then replies that no, it's not just rumors. All banks are affected, and she couldn't use her credit cards over this past weekend. Could you? He says, well, no. She then says, I don't know. There may be a silver lining to all of this. Now, I'm going to take that as a symbol for precious metals. There may be a silver lining to all of this. She then says, if what they're saying about the F Society hackers is true, then you're not going to have any debt to worry about because it's going to be wiped out. No one's going to be able to collect from anybody because it's all wiped out. It's all electronic and it's all scrambled by the hack. The data you can't unscramble it, and they used He said 256, AES encryption. Good luck trying to unscramble what they've done. That the hackers mentioned that earlier. So then the hacker then is like kind of talking in his head. He's kind of delusional apparently in this series, from what I've gathered. I've only seen the final episode, so I'm trying to tell you what I think I know. Um, the hacker then is like talking to himself in his head about how the virus or the hack works. Is that it makes data unreadable, and it's such a simple hack that caused all of this. Just scrambles the data; it's junk at that point. He's done walk. He's done them, and I was using text to voice, so maybe on my phone as I'm watching and pausing and saying stuff. So some of this may not make sense. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I just tried to say here. He's done walking into some corporate office. Well, all right, I remember this part. He walks into some corporate office where his friend, and supposedly his friend's like a hacker friend of his that helped him do this, and he's looking for his partner, his friend, and he's kind of walking where he thinks he should be, and some lady's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And he asked her, has he seen so and so, his friend, or whatever? She says, "No, he's not here. He no longer works here." And the number sitting on the desk to the left of them, it's almost like you can put in these little cards or something. Like it's got a little slot like this big, and it just holds like these little cards. I've never seen anything like this in an office building, but underneath it is a number. Guess what the number is? 2369, 923, in plain sight. Then some breaking news, just another scene or whatever. Breaking, oh no, I think while he's there, breaking news comes on the TVs everywhere, outside New York City, everywhere. And it says outside, and it looks like a picture of currently what you know as Anonymous, the hacker group Anonymous. That's what F Society, they have this little mask. And it says that, they always have this little mask on, and it's a similar mask to the real life Anonymous, actually. And there are a bunch of people in the streets wearing the mask in support of F Society, what they've done. Uh, and he is speaking on the TV screen. There is, this person with the mask on. I think it might be his partner, talking about basically we destroyed your debt global enslavement system and this and that. And there's another screen above him because it's outside of New York City. They got screens everywhere. And the one above him, a little commercial comes on real quick, boop, and goes by. Excuse me, in this movie, and it says something about suds, golden suds. Boop, gone. So precious metals, silver lining, golden suds. Another one. Why is this? Everything in here they're putting on there. I mean, so that's two things. We now have gold and silver mentioned in here. The scene is now at the CEO of some company, which I believe is a company called Evil Corp, which in this series, apparently Evil Corp is like the JP Morgan or the Goldman Sachs, the biggest evildoers of the world, financial tentacles, sucking squid legs, tentacles of sucking debt and everything else out of everybody's lives, putting us in more in debt, so to speak. But this, for the series, it's called Evil Corp. So the CEO is doing a live interview from some news agency, probably CNN or whatever on the series, and the lady is asking him questions and what they're going to do about the data loss, and the stocks are already down. His stocks have plummeted down to $18. And what is he telling people? And and basically he tries to pretend like it's okay. We'll get to the bottom of it and fix this. And she presses him a little bit more, and he says, "You know what? You want me to tell you the truth? The truth is, I've been with our engineers all weekend, and they have no idea how to fix this. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody knows how. My pension's gone. My retirement's gone." He then pulls out a gun out of his bag, puts it in his mouth, blows his head off on live TV. So there's the scene from the real life shooting of Virginia that just happened recently that they were referring to. They don't want to play this finale yet because of what just happened in Virginia. A live shooting on TV, and then in this movie, the series, live shooting himself in the head on TV. You got to be kidding me, right? So towards the end of the show, it's showing screenshots of prices of markets and things that are down, such as the stock market in China. And the number next to the Chinese stock market, once again, remember that 923 number? 23926.09. And above it is some Chinese characters or symbols. And next to those, it says 32265.8. Now, anyone that knows what 322 is, Skull and Bones Secret Society number. So we have Skull and Bones, 322, and of course our infamous 923 reference. And the 923 being in this particular series, even though it's been in a ton of things, movies, and all over the damn place, this one's important because what is this series about? Collapsing of the world economies. They showed screens of rioting, people, I mean, you name it. And 923, September 23rd, 2015, the end of the Shemitah, or beginning end of the Shemitah cycle, and the blood moon stuff happening. I mean, again, 923, this has got to be the most unbelievable date. I just feel, you can really, I mean, you can feel it in your bones. This is it. And Lindsey Williams has left the country to go to Mexico and just left a brief little message on his website, basically going to down to the Mexican doctor clinic. So either A, he's going there for some health issue, him or his wife, or he picked one hell of a time, or boy did he pick one hell of a time to go, or he's purposely leaving the country to just hang out down there for a little while during a critical point in time, and he's not going to say it. Maybe his elite friend told him, hey, you knew this earlier, Lindsay, it's time to go. I'd leave the country if I were you. And he, not being able to say that to the rest of us, just decided to say, oh, hint, hint, I'm leaving the country, but I'm going to Mexico to a clinic to try to play it smooth. Because as he said before, when the elite tell him, you can say this, this, and this, but you can't talk about that. Or you used to have your book out, you can't have that book out anymore. You can stop publishing it. He has to follow directions. And he said, absolutely, I will. And he did. And he says, when they tell me that I can't say something or do something, I don't. When they say I can, I do. So if he was told, which he already said in his last video, have a location to go to that you can leave. And I think he even said, if I recall, was it him? Preferably out of the country? Like a bug out location you can go out of the country? I thought that may have been him who said that. But he did say a place to go to for sure, aside from your own house. So I feel, and I haven't spoken with him, I have no idea, but be honest with you, he gave me his phone number. I should call him. Um, but I feel like maybe he's taking a little extended vacation right now down there just to play it safe, one way or the other. And I don't feel he could say anything if that's the case. Like if he knows I have to leave the country because my elite friend told me to, and he's doing that, but his elite friend also said you can't go and tell everybody this. Naturally, he's not going to, just like he's always said, I will not do it. He's not going to risk it, and I don't blame him. But at the same time, there is a tiny little chance that he really went over there, he or his wife's health. Again, the timing, in my opinion, there's not a chance in hell. It was that reasoning. Unless there's some little issue, yeah, let's go down there and get him checked out. And since we're close to 9/15, 9/23, 2015, let's go ahead and we don't really need to go down there, honey, but let's go ahead and go now. And let's take about 3 weeks of vacation, if you know what I mean. Okay, honey, let's go. So I gotta say, out of all the movies and things that I've seen where they put the stuff in plain sight right in front of you, man, oh man, is this thing chock full. And there was something that first came. Oh, there was a scene in the very beginning when the guy was talking to his psychiatrist ex-girlfriend or whatever, and as she gets up to leave because he's like, "You gotta tell me what he said." She's like, "No, it's confidential, doctor-patient thing." And then ultimately she's like, "Look, he didn't tell me anything. Can't help you." So she walks away, and he starts to leave, and then as the scene goes to the next scene, a big box truck drives by, and it says something like, East Coast something, East Coast something, and then goes to the next scene. So I've been seeing a lot of references to East Coast, New York, East Coast, East Coast, and I know about this. There's a comet or a asteroid or something going to strike the Earth, and it's supposed to be on the East Coast. I've heard about it. Um, Remains to be seen, of course. But why did the Federal Reserve decide they're going to leave New York and go to Chicago? And I think a couple years back, the FBI's main office got off the coast, moved more inland. Also, um, pretty pretty strange to say the least, regardless of their reasoning. But I had to share this with you, and if you can go find it, it's season 10, season finale, episode 10, season finale of Mr. Robot. I would highly recommend you try and find that and watch it. Pretty interesting to say the least.